Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is a condensed version of today's episode of Undisputed, handpicked with the best segments and discussions. Skip, Shannon, let's go.
Carmelo Anthony is officially a Rocket. Melo is expected to come off the bench in Houston, even though he has been reluctant to that idea in the past. Mike D'Antoni said yesterday that they discussed everything with Melo in their meeting, including the idea of coming off the bench. And D'Antoni said, quote, he's open to it. All he wants to do is win. Shannon, can you see this happening?
Skip, for me, normally when going into a new job or a new location, open to it is one thing, but defining a role is something entirely different. That way, once we get to this point, we don't, well, you said this because this is what, remember, in OKC, they didn't use me the right way. I didn't know my role or my, no. Okay, Melo, here, this is what it is. But when you sit back and you look at it, Skip, you're like, well, hold on. Melo's looking at, hold on. Y'all thinking about starting Gerald Green and PJ Tucker over me? Dude, you know I'm a 10-time All-Star. I got gold medals. I'm an All-NBA player, and you talking about starting one of those two guys in a spot that I could play. So Melo's looking at it from that standpoint. Okay, I get it. But D'Antoni, you need to define what you want Melo to do before he gets there. So therefore, he can't say you sprang something on him that wasn't discussed in the meeting. That way, when you roll the balls out there, everybody will know. So now, if you're saying like what Rondo said, Magic told him, point guard's open. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. If D'Antoni, if you telling Melo that okay, the 3 or the 4 position is open, okay, but you need to define. Melo is a guy, Skip. You need to have a definitive role. You need to let him know where he stands.
Yep.
So there'll be no confusion. There'll be no ambiguity on what's transpiring. So with that being said, I know how Melo's thinking. Melo's looking at Gerald Green like, dude, this dude been a journeyman. This dude been on like 18, Skip. PJ Tucker's been on like 5 or 6. They're not better than me. And you want me to come off the bench behind one of those two guys. I don't see.
Sorry. To me, this is worse than like a Saturday Night Live skit. Like if I saw it on Saturday Night Live, I would say, oh, that's just absurd.
Yeah.
But this is too crazy funny to even be true. Mike D'Antoni, coaching the Knicks, flat out quit over Carmelo Anthony. He quit with a month ago because he said, I can't coach him. We clashed too much. There was a big argument about, are you a power forward or small forward?
Right.
No big deal, but it became a little big deal to D'Antoni.
Yes.
And he finally said, I just can't take him anymore. And now he's saying it'll be a much better fit in Houston after what we saw from Melo in Oklahoma City. And I'm going to remind you, before last year started in Oklahoma City, just about a year ago, it was in September, do you remember the classic media session in which Carmelo was asked about either playing the 4 or coming off the bench? Could we see that just to remind everybody of how he reacted to that question?
How do you feel about, starting at the 4 or the concept of starting at the 4 or even coming off the bench? And the second question is...
Well, me?
Oh. I guess that answers that part.
I mean, I don't know where that started, where that came from. Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
I do.
That's
like
it.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get now. You think he's changed in a year? Do you think he grew up and said, I'm a bench player?
No.
And he's yelling to, hey, P as in Paul George.
Right.
I like that.
Okay, so that's how he's going to think about this, to me. And I'm going to remind you, there's a record that he could set this year. It's kind of an out there record, but in available games started from the start of your career, when you're healthy or whatever, you're available to start, he has started 1,054 straight games that he was available to start. And that means that you weren't injured or ill before. And that's second only to Patrick Ewing's 1,118. So that means he's 65 games away from a record of sorts. It's not much of a record, but if I know Carmelo and I know him a little bit, I'm going to say he's aware of that and that he would be pretty proud of that. It's a little bit of a durability record, even though it doesn't account for injury. But every game you were available, you started. Until now, obviously, every game you played your whole life.
Right.
From AAU, high school, through Syracuse.
Correct.
You started.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, to your point, Gerald Green's going to start? Or who's going to start?
Tucker?
I don't know. Really? You're going to accept that? So poor Mike D'Antoni is saying all the right things. He did the USA Today interview with Sam Amick, and he said, different points of people's careers or lives or circumstances, things are different. And there's some truth to that. Like you sort of make peace with where you are and you sort of live and learn and you forgive and forget.
But just 3 months ago, Skip, he was unwilling to come off the bench in OKC.
That's what I'm saying.
Which means that's why they shipped him to Atlanta, and Atlanta bought him out.
So, again, D'Antoni's saying, look, styles clashed in New York, and he said they traded away everybody and then for Carmelo and then expected us to win a championship.
But Skip, let me ask you a question. How did you think you were going to get Carmelo? So let me get this straight. You were going to get Carmelo Anthony, not give up any pieces, and then go contend. Normally, that's what happens. When you trade for a superstar player, you have to give up pieces. And what they did is you're right. They stripped the New York Knicks of all the good pieces, but you wanted Melo. You knew that.
But when Mike Woodson took over, what happened? I'm not saying they were a contender, but they won 55 games.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And they were a viable factor in the East. Okay? So then he's trying to do the comparison to it's like USA basketball. And D'Antoni has been an assistant coach on teams that Carmelo played for USA, like Olympic teams or FIBA teams.
Right.
But he's saying that when it's your turn, it's your turn. That's what you have to accept in USA basketball. And Carmelo's won 3 gold medals with Team USA.
So let me ask you a question. Gerald Green and P.J. Tucker, which one of them is Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis? Which one of those are those guys? Because it's easy to take a back seat to one of them.
I would agree. So then he made the Golden State comparison. He said, well, they had all those other guys, and you fit in Durant. I mean, if you're committed to a certain style and everybody's committed to the team, it works itself out.
Skip, Durant is the second best player in the NBA.
He's the first best, but it's okay. Whatever he is, whatever.
I'm agreeing
he's
with
that
you,
guy.
Skip,
He's that guy.
We're finally on the same team here.
Yeah.
And you about to ruin it.
Okay, I didn't ruin it. I just put it in
No, you didn't.
context. I had to put it in context. But the point is, they all sacrificed because he's that guy.
Yeah,
they all agreed we need that guy to get over the top,
Skip,
right?
Skip, it's a different ball game. Kevin Durant walks in the door. He's the best player on Golden State team. Carmelo Anthony walks in the door. He's not the best player on the team.
Nope.
So it's easy for everybody else to make those concessions. It's easy to make the concession when LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis are at the 3 and the 4 position.
Yep.
So it's easy for Melo to come off the bench. Melo's looking at me, hold on. You want me to come off the bench, play 20, 25 minutes, and P.J. Tucker and Gerald Green are the starters?
Yep.
Really, Mac D'Antoni?
Yep.
How can you in good conscience even ask me to do that?
Okay, which brings me to this conclusion. I do not think in any way, shape, or form this was Mike D'Antoni's decision. I think it was the GM, Daryl Morey, who is the boss, who is in charge, and he tweeted something about what a long quest this has been to get Carmelo here. And by the way, it's the worst kept secret in all of sports. It went on for like 3 months,
Yes.
and it finally...
Well, this was last year, Skip. They tried to get the deal done last year, so this was over a year in the making.
Yeah. So Daryl Morey said, I want him. D'Antoni, you coach him. You figure it out. You're the coach. That's your job. You play with the chemistry. You experiment. And then you finally say, oh, this will work. I don't think it's going to work because one guy has to sign off on it, and that's Carmelo.
Did you see Mike D'Antoni in New York, Skip? The dude was going through 4 packs of Rolaids a game, having to coach Melo and dealing with Melo and trying to get him to accept this. And then you had Jeremy Lin there. Skip, you remember Jeremy Lin was there doing his thing, and Melo like, I need to come on back. He getting too much love. He trying to steal some of my shine.
Yeah. He also thought he was a flash in Melo's pan. Right. Go ahead.
But here's the thing, Mike, Coach D'Antoni, if you believe Melo has changed his thought process from the time that you coached him in New York to where he is now, he has not. The only thing that's changed on Melo is his ability.
Yep.
His mindset hasn't changed. So you're going to ask him to do what? Because in New York, he needed the ball. You gave him the ball. Now he's in Houston. James Harden and Chris Paul will have the ball in their hands 80, 90% of the time between those two. So
Another statement from Mike D'Antoni yesterday. We've just got to make sure we don't get too far away from taking threes and layups and foul shots. So to your point, that means no mid-range jumpers, which is what Carmelo does, or no dribble, back down, post-ups.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They don't do it.
But that's what Melo is.
Okay. Well, or what he was. I don't know.
Skip, if I'm a run and shoot, why would I sign a fullback? That's not what we do.
That's a good analogy.
And then
That's
Skip
right.
talking
You
about
signed a fullback.
Yeah, well, he didn't catch any ball. Catch any balls, you don't throw the ball to the fullback. What Melo does really well is not what the Rockets do really well.
Yep.
So good luck.
Okay, so I'm going to give D'Antoni these 2 points. He has made a very strong point publicly that everybody said you can't make James Harden a pure point guard, and they did pretty well with that this first time around.
Yeah.
He led the league in assists. And then everybody said, including me, James Harden can't play with CP3. It'll just be their styles are going to clash because somebody needs the ball in his hands more than the other guy. And those two,
they played really well off each other.
They played really well. And they worked hard in the offseason. They were up here at UCLA, not far from us. Every day of the offseason, not every day, but a lot of days playing pickup games together, just trying to establish how do we do this? What's our rapport together? And it worked. So I'm going to give D'Antoni those two. But, boy, this is throwing a third wheel in that I just don't.
But here's the thing, though. Those two guys, okay, they don't have the ball in their hands 90% of the time, one or the other. Carmelo Anthony is going to go from having the ball 75, 80% of the time to having it 15, 10, 20% of the time. How does he handle that?
So two figured it out because it's 2/5 of the lineup.
Right.
But now there's a third fifth of the lineup, and there's only 5 on the court and 1 basketball. So
I got them losing 8 to 12 fewer games.
I'm with you on that.
They'll lose 8 to 12 more games than
They're
what
going
they
to come
lost
back
last
to
year.
the pack.
Yeah.
I told you yesterday, it's subtraction by addition. It's the opposite of what usually happens, the opposite of the Des Bryant syndrome. It's subtraction by addition. It's the wrong cog to add at this stage of his career, unless he will just swallow all of his pride and Chris Paul can say, hey, you're one of my best friends and I need you to do this for me, for us.
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip. Look, I got to have some pride. I can't swallow it all because then I won't be me.
I know. It's a problem.
I mean, sometimes, you're like, man, you got low self-esteem. But then the person has no self-esteem. I can't deal with that. I mean, if you're low, I can try to pick you up. But if you ain't got none to begin with. So Melo's like, let me have a little pride, Skip.
That Melo we saw laughing 1 year ago, he's still that guy.
Exactly.
We're going to have to figure it out. No mercy. Ezekiel Elliott, who had 58 catches in his brief 2-year career, but it looks like he wants more chances. Zeke told the Dallas Morning News that he's been studying film of Marshall Faulk. He's not only Hall of Famer, but also one of the best receiving backs of all time. Zeke talked about his new responsibilities yesterday. Let's take a listen.
I think it's just an opportunity just to elevate my game, just an opportunity to show that I can do more. And, I'm excited. I'm just here to do what the coaches ask me. So, whatever they put on my plate, I'm going to do the best I can to go out there and execute and do my best. I mean, they're asking me to do a couple different things, but, it's just kind of, developing myself more as a route runner. And, I think in the past I wasn't really asked to run as many complex routes, but, now I have, a couple more routes to add to my route tree.
Okay, Shannon, can Zeke be that type of running back?
Hall of Famer, absolutely. He could end up in Canton just like Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk is the greatest receiving running back to ever play in the NFL. Marshall Faulk once had a stretch where he caught 80-plus balls in 5 consecutive years. He is one of 2 men to catch, to rush for 1,000 yards and receive for 1,000 yards in the very same season. Marshall Faulk never had a season in which he caught less than 44 balls. Zeke has, 50-something now, Skip? So think about that.
What was the offense he was running in?
The funny gun.
Just
wide open.
shoot.
Right.
Okay.
But Skip, the difference is that they put Marshall Faulk out wide and they say run a slant. They put him out wide and say run a comeback, run a dig. Zeke Elliott is not running no dig route. That's not what that's not what he is. Will he, the rim route, check downs, run a screen here or there, okay. But that's not what he is. He's not Le'Veon. That's not what he does. Le'Veon, in his first 2 years, Le'Veon has 160 balls. In his first 2 years in the NFL, Zeke has 58. Le'Veon's second year, he had 80 balls. David Johnson's second year, he had 80 balls. Come on, Skip. Zeke is it, Skip. You don't have that offensive line and say, you know what, Zeke Elliott, we're going to put you out wide. We're going to throw you some passes. You got that line to turn around, to have Dak Prescott turn around and say, here you go, big fella. Eat. That's what you want to see. You want to see him doing this. Skip. He's not Marshall. Marshall is a different animal. And when you got Isaac Bruce, you got Torrey Holt, you got Azahir Hakeem, you got Kurt Warner, who's in the Hall of Fame, one of the most accurate quarterbacks. Think about it. Marshall Faulk in 1999, Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. So 3 straight years, he was Offensive Player of the Year or MVP. That's what he was. But he also had the 2-time MVP throwing him the ball. He had a guy that's on the Hall of Fame ballot right now, Isaac Bruce, over 15,000 yards. He had Torrey Holt, who's an all-pro. Azahir Hakeem, who's one of the better slot receivers at the time. So how are we going to play in all this space and give Zeke an opportunity to get one-on-one? See, when Marshall Faulk was one-on-one with someone other than the number one corner, they were throwing him the ball. You put a safety on him if you want to. You put a linebacker on him if you want to. And if it was your second corner, they're going to throw him the ball. Skip, I get it. You want to show it. But they're not going to they might do a smash concept where they put Zeke out wide, he runs 5 yards, stop. They take the guy that's lined up next to Zeke, run him on a 7 route or a corner route. The guy sinks, they throw it to Zeke out wide. But as far as putting Zeke out wide and say, Zeke, go do your work, that's not happening, Skip. You know that, I know that.
I don't know that.
You do know that.
So, in your constant quest to hate on the Dallas Cowboys, you have again taken a pretty simple little remark to the absolute utter extreme. You're saying he wants to go full on Marshall Faulk. That's not what he's saying. He just wants to add a dose of Marshall Faulk to his repertoire, and it's like adding icing to the best running back cake in the National Football League. If you take the icing away, if you don't put a dab of icing, it's still the best running back cake.
Not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. So I don't care.
It.
I don't care if he catches a ball or not, but I have told you, he doesn't have just good hands. He has really good hands. His hands are at least as good as Le'Veon Bell's. And by the way, Ezekiel Elliott runs 4.4, and Le'Veon, your guy, runs 4.6.
Yeah.
4.6?
And
really?
one guy catches 83, 85 passes.
It's because I guess they don't trust Le'Veon as a running back enough.
Man rushed for 13.
That's all I can figure out. He's not that guy. You're disqualifying your own argument.
You see what you did?
Well, what did you tell me? You got that line, you got Zeke, just hammer him, right?
Skip.
Hammer Le'Veon.
No.
Hammer him.
No, but they don't have the same offensive line as the Cowboys. All I'm saying is, Skip, look, most running backs have average hands, just slightly above average. I believe Todd Gurley, I believe Le'Veon Bell, I believe David Johnson, their hands are above the average.
You better put Zeke in there because
Here's
it's
the thing.
way above.
How about I do it like this here? Marshall Faulk, had he said, you know what, I don't want to play running back anymore. I want to play wide receiver. He legitimately could have played wide receiver. That's how good he was.
In that offense, I think if you put him conventional and split him out wide, I think he'd be just another guy.
Well, he caught 80-plus balls with Peyton Manning.
Marshall Faulk
Yeah.
did. Yeah, because you're dinking and dunking underneath.
No,
you're clearing out the middle and just letting him run option routes, like Julian Edelman, like Akeem. You got 2 slots in that offense. You spread everybody completely out, and you're just letting them run little option routes underneath.
You believe Zeke Elliott has start, stop, quick?
I do, absolutely. He runs 4.4. He is an extraordinary stop-and-start artist.
Julian Edelman didn't run 4.4. Wes Welker didn't run 4.4.
Thank you.
I agree. Antonio Brown didn't run 4.4. But what they have is that start-stop quickness, that da-da-da,
Yep.
That's not what Zeke is. Skip.
So, obviously, this year, my Cowboys don't exactly have a proven collection of wide receivers. Am I
really?
right? They do not have one proven tight end option to throw to. Not one.
What about your guy Rico?
So, all of a sudden, I don't know about Rico. He can't block. But he makes one catch a day at camp where they all say, ooh and ah.
Oh.
They say nobody else can make that catch, so we'll see what
So
happens.
you out on Rico
No, I'm not
Suave.
out. I'm not out. But I'm just saying, there's no proven tight end. There's no single proven wide receiver where I
Right.
say, I trust that guy.
Right.
Michael Gallup, my rookie.
Oh, you love him?
I do, but he's a rookie. So
Okay.
do I know what he's going to do when the lights are on for
No.
real? I don't know. So if you take Zeke Elliott and you actually add some dig routes, you add some complex routes to his repertoire that you can call on occasionally just to spread people out and get the 8 out of the box. That's what you don't want. You don't want 8 sitting in and just camping in the box the whole game saying, you can't come in here anymore.
That's what I want.
Right?
If you split Zeke,
Split him out every once in a while. Put him in the slot.
and the defense coordinator is like, thank you. Because we know you ain't throwing the ball.
He's not.
Thank
He's
you.
saying, uh-oh. Really? You got
No,
a
no, no.
4-4 guy in the slot? Hey,
And
he can
do what
run
with
routes.
him?
You're going to throw it to him. You're going to get him free. You're going to get him in space.
They don't believe that.
I do.
No D coordinator go believe they're going to throw the ball to Zeke Elliott.
Well, they do, and they will.
Oh, yeah.
You watch.
On the rim route, on the screens, check downs. things
All
of that
he's
nature.
ever run are check down routes.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all he's ever run.
Okay, then we'll keep it going.
Except he did run one in Denver. I don't know what he was doing. I don't
And
know if he blew it.
and it's
you remember the one Dez blew?
Yes.
Right? And somehow Zeke has passed him down the field. I don't know what they
Yeah,
were
he
doing.
was trying to run a clear. But okay, here's the thing, though, Skip. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It just makes him harder to defend. You just want to add some icing to the best cake. That's all you're doing. And boy, now it's going to be really good. It's going to be off the charts good. You would have 3 pieces of that cake.
Zeke out wide is like the Dwight Howard at the three-point line. Why the hell am I guarding him out there? Why am I going
That's
to guard
not the
Zeke?
same
It's the
thing.
exact same thing.
Dwight Howard can't score 6 points from there.
And Zeke Elliott cannot run no dig route, no slant, no
You
comeback,
watch.
no over.
You're
No,
gonna eat
no,
these words.
no.
You're going to be so humiliated.
No.
Monday after Monday
Gene.
after Monday.
Big end, little low. No.
Yeah.
No.
There you go, Jen.
Well,
That's
I mean,
funny.
neither of you guys like cake, so I don't even know how we could use that.
He
analogy.
loves cake. Don't
Too
underestimate.
healthy for both of us.
He's a
Sometimes.
sneak cake eater.
He like plain things. If you notice, Spurs, Cowboys. That's what he like.
Chicken, broccoli,
Yeah.
rice. That's
Yeah.
all I ever eat. Chicken,
Yeah.
broccoli, rice.
Tom
I have
Brady.
it every
Tom
meal.
Brady.
Chicken, broccoli, rice. And I come in here and go boom, boom, boom. And you say, no mas.
My guy, Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
smorgasbord.
Yeah, he is. He's all over the map.
All that good stuff just lined up. What you want? Sprinkles, Reese's Pieces,
Yeah.
Butterfingers on your ice cream. You just want vanilla. Oh, I take 1 scoop of vanilla. You like anything on it, Mr. Bailey?
Yeah.
No.
See, Shannon Sharp, am I right that I'm told that you post your breakfast every day, like a shot of it? Is that true?
I do.
Okay, but you don't post all the dessert that you eat.
I ain't eat no dessert. Ain't
yes,
no
you
dessert in the
do.
morning. I don't have no dessert
Not
at
in the
home.
morning, but at night. Do you post your dessert?
I don't have no dessert at night.
Yes, you do.
Occasionally on the weekend,
Lord
I
have-
might grab
Oh.
something. On the weekend, I might grab
Weekend.
something. But not
I
during
gotta
the
learn
week.
quickly. If we start talking about food, that's time to just wrap it up.
No.
Time to wrap it
not
up.
always.
I know you guys are both so
Somebody's
healthy.
getting called out here. It's okay.
But
Dallas
it's-
opens the
It's
regular
okay.
season against Cam Newton and the Panthers. And speaking of Cam, he continues to feud with
They'll
Kelvin
take that deal.
Benjamin. But should he just let it go? We will talk about it next.
No mercy.
So it doesn't look like the beef between Cam Newton and his former teammate, Kelvin Benjamin, is going to end anytime soon. Last week, Cam confronted Benjamin before the Panthers-Bills preseason game after Benjamin said he wished he had played with a more accurate and smarter quarterback. Yesterday, Cam appeared to take a shot at Benjamin. Let's take a listen.
I mentioned it before, but I'm gonna just tell you, I need things around me just like this wall. And you probably ask yourself, like, why this wall is just so basic? But it never changed on me. It's the same wall every single day. I like that. And I need things, people around me that it's like this wall. Ain't gonna change it.
The drama continues. Shannon, do you like Cam doing this?
Maybe I'm reading more into it than really needs to be, but I really don't. I thought he handled the situation really well on Thursday.
Likewise.
Walks up to him, tries to handle, try to find out what's going on. Okay, Benji, what's going on? What's the problem? And maybe he's still upset because he didn't like the way Kelvin Benjamin handled the situation in public. Skip, for me, conflict is really never about the surface issues. It's always about something unsaid.
Well, you said this on Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's something untreated, an unhealed wound.
Yep.
Cam feels a certain way. Kelvin Benjamin feels a certain way. They just need to get this thing, get it worked out, go behind the scenes, pick up the phone, call one another, and get this resolved. Because it's hard for me to believe that you could be so close, and now 2 years, 3 years later, you're so far apart. Something transpired to cause this relationship to splinter. And for Kelvin and for Benjamin to constantly take shots at Cam, man, the accuracy of Peterman and McCarron playing with these guys, it's so great. And then Cam said, I get it. Cam's like, look, I need people around me that's not going to change. Good times, bad time, indifferent. Hey, I know what I'm going to get. Just let it go, Cam. You made your point. You've been the bigger person. Don't go back and forth with Benjamin. He's in his feelings. Don't you get into your feelings. Mm-hmm. I understand you want people around you that's going to not change as you get even bigger. Maybe Kelvin Benjamin think Cam has changed since he won MVP. Maybe he doesn't treat him the same way. Maybe he doesn't return his calls in a timely manner. I don't know, Skip.
I don't either.
But now it's time to put it to bed, because we're about 3 weeks away from the season, and Cam, your mind need to be on Carolina Panthers and beating the bricks off the Dallas Cowboys opening day. I got me a case of doing that too.
Have I accepted
Yes,
that?
you said it. You was walking off camera.
Nothing counts unless it's on camera.
That is
it's at
true.
Carolina.
Are
I
you
thought it
making
was
a
at
bet?
Jerry World.
So are you rescinding that?
Nope, I'm taking it.
Dallas on the road.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
I got it.
You know,
Thank you.
Remember what happened last time on Thanksgiving?
I do.
Okay.
Who was the
Writing it
quarterback?
down.
Who's the quarterback on Thanksgiving? Who had just come back from broken collarbone?
Wasn't that Cam MVP season?
Tony Romo came back. How many pick sixes did he throw in that game? 2? What did he throw? 3 interceptions? And then they yanked him after like 2.5 quarters? No, he got hurt again. He got hurt. Right?
All I'm saying is
It was a Romo special.
Cam put on a show.
Yeah.
That was Cam was hitting.
Hey, that team put on a show every game that year.
They did.
Didn't they?
Yeah, go put on another one. Open
Love
day.
this. Love this.
Love it.
Okay, back to Jenny's question, or Jennifer's question, or Jen's question, or whoever she is
know.
question. I don't
You
know
gotta
which is
decide.
JT's question.
Really stressful.
I will give Cam this. When he speaks, and especially when he posts, it's always deep and clever. You know, like it was deep what he's saying. This wall. I'll take this wall right here, this gray old wall. Because this wall is always here.
Yeah.
Every day it's here. I come past this wall, and it stands right there.
It's gonna be gray
it
and
stands
brick.
strong, right?
Yeah.
And it will stand with me. It'll stand for me.
Right.
It's my friend. This
Right.
wall is my friend because it's my teammate, right?
Yep.
But to me, my takeaway from this is advantage Kelvin Benjamin. He got him. He got him good. And as you said, he hurt him. This goes way deep in Cam. But he got under his skin and he got in his psyche, and it just pains me to see Cam hang on to this long. Like he can't resolve it.
Right.
He got the face-to-face, but Kelvin just blew him off, just
Right.
walked. He wouldn't even look him in the eye, right? And Cam was the much bigger man, and I call that literally and figuratively. He just looked bigger than Kelvin, and he was acting bigger than Kelvin because he did it the right way. Put his hand behind his back like, I don't want to fight. Keep his earbuds in, you know, just like, I'm just being me. I just want to talk. Thomas Davis, you get out.
Yeah.
Just us two.
Right.
Nope, Kelvin wanted no part of it because he was running from it just the way he took from a distance shots at Cam that he shouldn't have taken. It was ugly. You can't do that. But for Cam Newton, let it go, man. Go onward and upward because Kelvin Benjamin cannot help you 1 ounce this year.
Nope.
He can do nothing to make you better this year. You should concentrate. You got a new coordinator, North Turner, which I don't know if it's going to work, but it could take you up a level. If you guys can click, it could take you up. What did I tell you about DJ Moore? He was the best receiver in the draft, and they stole him with the 24th overall pick. Cam should be really happy with that. He looked really, DJ Moore flashed right away in their first preseason game. And you got a chance. Christian McCaffrey, who you loved last year, he's a sophomore now. You know, like he got the rhythm of it last year, and he caught a bunch of balls for Cam last year. So all of a sudden, you have a chance to take it up a level, right? Take your completion percentage up a level, take your whole game up a level, because it hasn't been great the last couple of years since your MVP year.
Right.
Okay, that's all you should worry about right now, because that wall is still with you. It's not going anywhere. But what you got is Norv, and you got DJ, and you got Christian McCaffrey. And you go onward and upward.
Right.
You can't let, you're showing weakness to me. You're even showing your team, because you're the face of the franchise and the leader of the team, you're showing them, he got me.
Yeah, I would have. Once I tried to meet with him on the field, that would have been the end of it. But you know, Skip, sometimes the hardest thing is waiting for an apology that will never come.
And as you point out, I think they were really, I think Cam kind of took him under wing, and
they were very close.
Okay.
And Cam, for the life of him, he can't understand.
This is betrayal, man.
Right.
This is deep.
Because you know what, Skip, is like, you know, if he'd just said that situation wasn't right for me.
Yeah.
The offense they ran. But then when he put Cam in it personally.
It was a low blow.
So now Cam is like, what? Bruh, me and you, we Benji. Hey, your name Benji. You cool, dog. And this is what you, from afar. Like I said, if you say.
And then Kelvin tweeted another time about the accuracy of Nathan Peterman. Really?
The same guy that in his first and only start last year went 6 of 14 with 5 interceptions. Now, he was 11 of 14, but 5 of his completions, Jenny, went to guys that were not on his team. So that's not a good thing. So he is accurate. I give him credit. Kevin, you on to something. But a lot of those completions he's getting, they're not for you. This is Cam done with it. I'm trying to get that font. I'm trying to get that font like Cam got on his IG. I'm trying to how do you get that font?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Cam got a certain kind of font.
Like a special font?
Yeah, and I'm trying to get it on mine.
We gotta ask
be all
the kids.
cool.
We're way too old.
Get all cool like Cam. Yeah, I'm looking at my food. I had grapes, had egg whites, oatmeal.
Oh, he's back to the
blackberries and some orange slices.
Well, you have the same thing every day.
Then I look the same every day.
I don't know.
Batman costume up under here.
Wait, you got that fat belt on.
No, this my mic pack.
Oh, that was a low blow. You're
It's
taking
mic
low
pack.
blows now, too.
It's like a
mic pack,
it's like a girdle.
No mercy.
Well, for months, we've heard stories of friction between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but right now, the coach and quarterback are acting like everything is fine. This morning, Brady was on Boston radio station WEEI and said that he gets along with Belichick. Brady also called Belichick the best coach ever and added, quote, "I think our priorities are the same that they've always been." Shannon, are you buying everything that's okay between Brady and good old Belichick?
No, because this is one of the great organizations of saying things publicly that means nothing. They say they have no meaning whatsoever. Because I believe, Skip, these two guys, they're like a marriage. I'm so happy. We've been married together for 19 years now. And tomorrow, if they could, they would divorce each other. That's what I believe. You don't get all this fire, this smoke that we've been smelling without there being some fire at the crooks of this. And we know that to be true. Now, one moment, he doesn't feel appreciated. He doesn't feel loved. He doesn't feel like he's getting the praise that he deserves. The next minute, everything's hunky-dory. Now, which is it, Tom, now? Because you talking, you got 2 miles because you're talking out of both of them. Because that's not what you said to Jim Gray. Is it, Skip? Now, if I'm lying, you just say, Shannon, you lying. But he said he didn't feel love. You feel appreciated? Yeah. Start that. What do you think?
No, on the appreciated line, Jim Gray said, do you feel appreciated enough? Do they display the appropriate gratitude for all you've done for this organization? He said, I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. But now you look that, but now you
then
love
Jim
it.
Gray asked, are you happy? And he said, I have my moments. What?
Oh.
You have your moments? This was just 2 months ago.
But now you and Coach Belichick about to go to Turks and Caicos, and y'all about to just love it up over there.
Really?
Stop it. Tom, come on.
So in the bye week, they're gonna be on a yacht playing catch.
Yeah,
somewhere
exactly,
over in
Can you
Italy.
imagine? That'd be a great PR stunt.
It never happened.
And I'm going to remind everyone, according to the ESPN report, which I am going to take to the bank, Bill Belichick was fully prepared to go forward with Jimmy Garoppolo as his starting quarterback right here and right now. Now, this was last year at the trade deadline, and Robert Kraft intervened and for the first time ever said, nope, I'm making this football decision, not you, Coach Belichick. You will trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and you will go forward with Tom Brady. Let's just do the hypothetical. What if Bill Belichick had been given his way? That would mean they would go to the Super Bowl. Tom would throw for 505, but they would lose because they gave up 41 points on defense. And then I guess you'd have to push Tom into the sunset, right? You just have to release him.
Right.
You would have no choice. I don't see how you could keep both those quarterbacks with Tom as the backup. Would you do that to him? He's not going to sit still for that.
Or you'd have to trade him like they did Joe. Remember, they traded Joe to Kansas City.
Or you could just release him as a parting gift and say, you go choose where you want to finish.
Nah, you want to trade. You want to control that. You really don't want him to go.
Well,
Miami or somewhere
would
like
you want to give him away to somebody like the 49ers, to which you gave Jimmy G for a second-round pick?
Yeah, I'd put him in San Francisco. He's close to home. 49ers was his team growing up.
I told you before we knew Jimmy G was going there, I thought that would be a great last hurrah for Tom Brady.
Yeah,
right?
it just doesn't. I mean, the thing is, Skip, if Tom Brady would not go overboard with his praise and adulation for Coach Belichick, it might come off as believable. But one moment he's like, I don't know, and then the next minute he's just like fawning all over him.
Yep.
So I mean, the wave is just so big in between. It's like nobody's believing that, Tom. You just got to be one. I'm not saying you just got to be like you always be, which is right down the middle, blonde. Golly, gee whiz, Tom. But then one moment you like, I plead the fifth or whatever, and then the next minute, he's the great.
Okay, but
I feel kind of.
Okay, to your point, you always say I give 5% of the credit to Robert Kraft.
Oh, yes.
Well, Robert Kraft was the MVP of the offseason because they had some powwow. They had some sit-down. I don't know the details, but they said they were going to do it, and I'm pretty sure they did it.
The thing that I know most about Mr. Kraft, and I don't know him well, but I know him well enough and being around him and talking to him, he is a great communicator. And if you sit down with him and talk to him long enough, he can convince you that this is the right thing to do.
So he convinced those two guys face to face, probably just the three of them at dinner. Maybe Jonathan Kraft went also. I don't know. But he convinced them that 2018 could be good for you and it could be good for you because we're still good enough for both of you if you'll just make some peace with this. You can go win another Super Bowl, right?
I'm not saying we're going to have to go on vacation together. I'm not saying we have to like each other. But we do have to respect each other and get along well enough to accomplish this thing. Because Mr. Kraft knows, everybody knows, Skip, once this thing dissipates, be it Coach Belichick leaves, Tom Brady leaves, you're never going to see it again.
All bets are off. You're just back to the rest. You're fighting just like the rest of them.
Exactly.
So Tom Brady said all the right things as usual. He is the pro's pro when it comes to doing these interviews.
Yes.
But he said, I think our priorities are the same. And that's it. It's as simple as that. We're here to win. Okay?
But Coach Belichick's priority changed in one slight, Tom. He was willing to continue to win without you.
He was.
Your priority, you still
Clearly
wanted to
was.
win, but Coach Belichick wanted to win without you being there.
So now let's analyze Coach Belichick's radio comments on WEEI, which were uttered a day ago on Monday. He said, and I quote, I have a lot of respect for Tom. Well, to me, that's damning with faint praise. He didn't say, I have the utmost respect for Tom. He didn't say, I respect Tom more than anybody I've ever coached. He didn't say something glowing about Tom. He didn't put him on the highest pedestal. He just said, I have a lot of respect for Tom. It's kind of just.
Didn't that go without saying?
It's like, okay. And then he said, we've won a lot of games together. Okay? He's just saying, I'm in this, right?
Yeah.
And I hope we can win some more together. Okay, that's from Bill Belichick. Well, if I'm parsing those comments, I'm saying, I don't know about this. This doesn't feel that great to me. I don't think he's buying in the way Tom is buying. He said, I'm here, I'm going to do it this way.
But see, good thing, Coach Belichick was in his office doing his interview. He had his fingers crossed. I hope we win more games together.
Yeah.
I have the utmost respect. Well, he didn't
No,
say
he didn't
utmost.
say utmost.
He said to have respect.
And that's
Yeah.
the difference, right?
Yeah.
Just that slight difference.
You know, I
there.
have a lot of respect for Shannon Sharp.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't say utmost.
I have the
Read
utmost
between the
respect.
lines there,
That's
too.
okay. That's okay. J-
I've got a lot of
Being old
respect
J-
for you.
being old JT, we hold it out over
I'm
here.
never going to get any kind of
JT, what is she
fist bump.
now?
It's just-
JT.
JT or Jen or Jennifer or I just call her Jenny, but
We make it up as we go.
I'm not that close.
No mercy.
The Big Three playoffs gets underway Friday night on Fox. Loved watching that. We are joined by the man that started it all. Ice Cube, thank you for coming back and joining us on Undisputed. So, what are you looking forward to with the playoffs?
Oh man, just hard-nosed basketball. You know, we got Power, #1 seed versus Tri-State, the #4 seed. But Tri-State beat Power earlier this year, so that's going to be interesting. Then you got Three-Headed Monsters versus Three's Company. That was a close game, was 46-47, and then Jamario Moon hit a 4-pointer to win the game.
Saw it, yep.
So we expect exciting games this week in Dallas.
So, are you happy with this year that to me, again, from a distance, it just feels like Big Three became a thing this year. It became an entity unto itself, that it's on the map.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy. I think we've taken a leap forward as a league. Our players are better, more in shape. We got bigger names. Being live on Fox and FS1 has been an incredible leap forward for the league. And the reception from the audience. People thought we were gonna be a nostalgia league, but actually you have, kids dragging their fathers to the games. And so, people realize 3-on-3 is a young sport because the youngsters play at school all day. So it's just, it's been, a great progression for the league.
Are you hoping to get more and more stars as they step away from the NBA?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next year we want to try to expand to 12 teams. Hopefully play 2 nights a week, 3 games a night. So we want to open up room for more, names to join, more players, guys that's ready to play. We had so many guys last year at the draft who didn't make a team, but have the talent. And so we want to just have enough room for all that talent.
And again, how much does all this, you've done so much in your career, how much does this mean in the grand scheme of things to you?
Oh, this is one of the, highlights of my career. I mean, when I first got into music, just that ride, NWA, going solo, and then getting into movies,
Big Three Friday?
With,
Are you saying Big Three Friday? That what you trying to tell me, Q?
with John Singleton, getting into the movie game, and, having success there. But this right here is, it's the trifecta, so to speak. It's like a third act. And it's great to be involved in sports on this level, at the highest level, and to introduce something new and cool to the sports public.
Well, we also want to talk to you about your Lakers. And
Yes.
really one of the big questions heading into the season is the relationship between LeBron and, yes, the always outspoken LaVar Ball. LaVar was on a radio station here in LA the other day, had an interesting take, and we're going to listen to it now.
That's not LeBron's team.
Hey,
He got a point.
LeBron's team. He ain't homegrown.
LaVar.
You can say what you want, but we know what it is. I told you.
What is it?
Lonzo didn't go to Cleveland. LeBron came here to LA. We already over here.
What can LeBron learn from Lonzo?
He can't learn nothing from Lonzo. And Lonzo can't learn nothing from him. What they got to do is win together.
That's
They
right.
both know how to win, so that's the main thing. Ain't about no skills and how you going to finish a game. It's winning.
Wish I had his energy every single day. Okay, Q, are you worried about the friction between LaVar and LeBron?
No, I love it.
Really?
I love it because everybody has to be their own player. The worst thing the Lakers can do is just bow down to LeBron and what you want to do, Bron. What do you want to do? That's the last thing. Guys need to come in ready to play their game, realize they are professionals, Lakers on the front of their jersey too, and they got to come in with their game, and they do have to mesh, win together. I believe Lonzo can learn a lot from LeBron, though. And vice versa, because you're never too old to learn, you're never too young to teach. So I'm pretty sure LeBron can learn a few things from Lonzo, too. So, because Lonzo's a great passer. So LeBron is, too, but they both are pretty cool in that aspect. Man, turn that mouth. Turn
Turn it off.
I'm just saying.
See,
you know what? This person here think he know everything. That's the problem.
I know a little bit about everything. I don't know everything. Go ahead,
but so I think that's really what it is. Everybody got to come in. They got to be their own pro. They got to be their own man. You can't just bow down to what everything LeBron wants to do and play ball.
So to me, every once in a while, LaVar speaks some truth. When he calms down and speaks in this tone right here, that was just bluster. That was just some trash talk. It's flying back and forth across the radio table, and I'm not going to read a lot into what he just said there. But I will remind everybody, he said a year ago, oh, LeBron's coming to Los Angeles. He's going to be a Laker. He just flat out said it. You can take it to the bank. He was adamant about it. Was he not right?
He was right.
He was right. So I'm going to give him that. I just don't love the situation his son finds himself in because I still can't figure out the Rondo element. It's going to push, to your point, it's going to push him to either sink or swim, man, because Rondo can play. And Rondo fits with LeBron at this stage and age much better than Lonzo does immediately. If the goal is to win, if it's to build, which I don't think really LeBron's goal is just to build, but something's got to give here. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
I think Lonzo can do two things to keep Rondo, coming off the bench. I think he needs to hit that shot.
Yeah.
He got to be able to hit that shot. He has to attack that rim.
He does.
Those are two things he can add to his game to keep him on the floor. Because to me, he's pretty damn good at a lot of things.
He is.
And those two things, if he gets better at, he'll be, to me, a premier point
And he's also 6 feet 7 inches tall, and Rondo's about what, 6'1"?
Yeah, 6'2".
I don't think
6'1", 6'2". Yeah. You know the thing, this is uncharted territory for LeBron, playing with such young guys. LeBron likes veteran guys. He ain't got, because remember when he went back to Cleveland? Nah, y'all need to get rid of Wiggins. Y'all need to get rid of all them young guys. Y'all need to give me veteran players. So now he's going to have a second-year Lonzo, a second-year Kuzma, third-year Ingram, a lot of young guys. And this is really going to test his patience. You say he has patience and he's willing to wait. We're about to find out just how patient he can be.
Okay,
because
but you got your vets if you want to play them. You got 4 of them.
But no. Those vets are not going to play heavy minutes.
I don't know.
No.
You don't think Rondo?
Rondo might. I believe. I know Rondo said he don't have a problem backing up, but Q, when you got that mindset, when you've been the lead singer of a band, you ain't really trying to go to another band and sing backup. You want to be the lead.
I think he's there to put that pressure on Lonzo.
Yeah.
I think Rondo is there to put the pressure on Lonzo to show him what it takes to be a champion. And so I like it. I like the pressure.
Sink or swim. You believe he gonna rise to the occasion?
I believe so.
So do I.
I believe so. I mean, it seems like he has a father who demanding is the wrong word, but very influential in his life.
He exerts pressure.
He could take that pressure. If he could take that pressure all day, he could take what Rondo gets.
All I know for sure is somebody's not going to be happy. Either Rondo's not going to be happy or LaVar is not going to be happy. Am I right?
Yeah, maybe. You never know. I know the best man should play. And if you're not happy, get to practice and show the coaches why you should be in there.
Well, we already know there's one job that's already taken. It's etched in stone. One job is.
Well, I hope so. You're taking credit for that?
Everybody else fight for the minute. I hope you say, get the practice. Look here, first of all, if he that dog like you said he is, and Cube said he is, and his dad said he is, why are we even having this discussion?
Because they went out and got Rondo.
Why would you do that?
Who led New Orleans' playoff run past Portland.
When you was in NWA, were y'all going out and signing new rappers to the group? Or you had what you had? You were good, right? Okay then. Okay then.
Good enough. I like that.
They ain't gonna get Scarface the same with NWA.
But they actually had too many stars.
Y'all ain't gonna get Tupac the same with NWA.
Every pencil needs to be sharpened.
Yeah, but now that all of a sudden he's supposed to be the number 2 pick of the draft. He transcended. He's Magic Johnson reincarnated, and they go get this guy. Something ain't adding up.
I mean, he never said that. That's stuff be coming out your mouth.
What?
That is correct.
All I'm saying is they went and got the guy for something now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they got the guy, to me, to show their young player how to win that chip.
Oh, really? That what they got him, bro?
I believe so.
Do you think LeBron has any respect for Lonzo?
I think he thinks he's a good player. I think he thinks Rondo's a better player.
You think so?
I do.
I think he'll have respect for any player when he go like this and that ball hit him in the hands. That's who he'll respect.
Rondo's led the league in assists 3 times.
If he go like this and the ball hit him in the hands,
Rondo been a
that's
champion.
what he respect. I understand.
Don't you want somebody that's been on the stage before and been in the studio?
Yeah.
Oh, that man
is
been
nice.
in the studio, dropped a hot track.
Do you have any idea how hard to coach Rondo is? He
Yeah.
is tough, man, because he thinks he is smarter than the coach, and probably he thinks he's smarter than LeBron James. And I promise you, if he plays high minutes, he and LeBron will clash. They will clash because he's clashed with everybody he's ever played with and for. Everybody down the line. Just look it up. What's he been with? 4 teams in 5 years?
Sacramento, Dallas. Dallas just say, no, we're going to pay you, but go home.
Okay.
Boston, and New Orleans.
Yeah.
So, what is 15?
Oh, I don't know. You know
Well,
what?
maybe he's looking at it like, you know what? I hadn't found a steady home in a very long time, and the teams keep changing, and the common denominator is me. So maybe I need to reevaluate how I'm doing things.
Okay, you grow up, you get a little more mature, you understand the situation. He might feel great about going back to Boston and winning a championship in a Laker uniform. That might be his motivation.
That might be his motivation.
So what you keep overlooking about Lonzo Ball is not only is he gifted, but he's completely unselfish. He's a dream to play with, just a dream. He's not going to battle you. He's not going to clash. He doesn't need credit.
Man, he's cool as a cucumber, man.
He is.
Here's the thing.
I mean, with all these firestorms going on around him, he just goes out and plays. He's not caught up.
Everybody talking
not
about
sweating it.
it's easy to be unselfish when you can't shoot. It's easy to be the backup singer when you can't sing. Teddy Pendergrass got tired of being that.
I know, but in singing
nothing
is
wrong with playing your role, brother.
But that's what I'm saying. It's easy to be when he was Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. Well, once Harold Melvin found out he could sing and he wanted to step to the front, you got to go.
But what happened to Harold Melvin?
That's what I'm saying.
When they got rid of Teddy Pendergrass.
Well, see, it was cool. It was Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes featuring Teddy. But then when Teddy got first, he like, oh, whoa, wait a minute.
Okay, but you just dismissed Lonzo Ball as a Blue Note, right?
No,
he's a gifted
Harold
passer.
Melvin.
He's like once a generation.
He could be Teddy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Teddy just came. LeBron, Teddy.
Oh, Lord.
LeBron, Cube, now you need to stop.
Let's get our references up to this.
I know. Wait, but they ain't no more groups now. Everybody go solo from the jump. Ain't nobody starting out.
It's hard to cut up that money 5 ways.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.